which I think is by far the most entertaining best of three we've seen this whole evening. Don't you think so?
It's been a very good one indeed, as we're getting on into it right here, right now, guys. Best of three, game number 3 here in the Dutch Starcraft League qualifier number 2. One of these two players, they're going to be going on into the semifinals. The other one, their trip ends right here at the top left-hand corner. The red Protoss playing for UCAP Esports. He is JayPower. And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner showing us the power of Mutalisks, then the power of Micro. The green Zerg, he's ThisGameSuck.
And if I may interrupt you for a small second, do you see what map we're playing on?
Ohana.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Congratulations
Yeah,
to Sushi for being a mind reader.
yeah, that gives me $5, correct?
$5? The heck? That
Yeah,
was
well,
going to be
yeah.
my lunch. Come on.
What are you having for lunch? I want to talk about food again.
I want to talk about food too. I'm so hungry. I've got another cast coming up today after this, and I'm like trying to figure out if I can take a break to eat food in between, or if I'm gonna go until like 7 o'clock or 8. Oh my gosh! You know what I just realized?
Food.
I have 3
You know,
casts today. I'm gonna be
3.
going. Yeah, I'm gonna be going until like 11 o'clock at night tonight, and probably without food. Oh no!
Whoa, screw your life, man. Whoa.
Sad. Oh no! My life is awesome because I get to cast all day long, but I also like to eat food. Oof.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, what's your plan for lunch then?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have a sandwich at some point here.
A sandwich.
I'm gonna at least
And
try to have a sandwich.
Are you gonna put some meatloaf on it?
No, actually, I love meatloaf, but we just don't have meatloaf that often in America. Like, it's just not super common.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Do you see
delicious,
what
though.
this game suck is doing, by the way? He just hit his drone so well. Did you see that? That was
I
so
saw
great.
it on the mini map. Yeah, it dodges the probe right there, able to get
Yeah.
the hatchery down, and great job.
Perfect opening.
Not gonna have to deal with that probe at all. That pesky probe. And
Yeah.
well, we are gonna go into a little bit of a pause here, as ThisGameSuck does have a little bit of lag issues. And so going for that 15 pool into the hatchery route, is this the optimal opening, just to make sure that you're not going to get cannon rushed here on Ohana?
Yeah, I mean, this is a debate that's going on for a long time already. I mean, yes, you can go hatchery first, and yes, the Protoss can decide to go and cannon the Zerg player, but it all just depends on micro. If the Zerg player knows what he's doing, the cannon will fail. If the Protoss knows what he's doing, yeah, it can get ugly, but in either case, it's a risk from both sides, you know. I would just always go for spawning pool hatchery because economic-wise, it doesn't. The difference is not that big, and you're so much safer. So I wouldn't advise going hatchery first against Protoss in any case.
Yeah, going hatch first. I mean, it's a ballsy move for sure. And once again, I'll bring up Root Katz, who says that he is extremely good at defending cannon rushes. And I bring up Katz a lot because he is one of my favorite players. I actually applied to his team as a writer, and they turned me
Oh, really?
down. Yeah, I applied to Root as a writer, and unfortunately didn't get the position with him a few months back. But shortly thereafter, got picked up by Dignitas as a writer, and then eventually to Complexity Gaming as a writer and a caster. So I'm happy with that, very happy. But I still do like pretty much the entire Root squad. Very cool guys over there.
Yeah. Root Gaming has a really nice reputation over here as well.
Yeah, definitely. As we have another pause coming out, ThisGameSuck still experiencing some outages, unfortunately. Well, not outages, but some internet problems, and he's going to try to tend to that momentarily. Might have to contact an admin and perhaps a regame or something, saying that he's getting some small spikes here. But, well, we'll see. And so you don't think that JayPower is going to be going for any kind of an Immortal All-In, even with the strength of it on this map?
I think JayPower is not the type of guy who will do this, especially since he opened the Gateway Cyber. You know, the whole Gateway Immortal timing is based on Forge Fast Expanding, or even Nexus first. And now, if he would do it, the push would come later, simply because of his opening. But the opening of ThisGameSuck is also non-standard because he's taking a really fast guess again, which is, of course, a good counter to what the Protoss is doing with a gateway opening. But at the same time, this messes up the this messes up everything that you're familiar with. So what that means is an immortal timing from the Protoss perspective suddenly isn't something that you're sure to win with anymore because the timings are so different than you're used to. So yeah, I would definitely not recommend it.
Not recommend it indeed. And we do actually see 2 additional gateways being dropped out at the front. In the last game there on Daybreak, Cloud Kingdom, we did actually see that JayPower went with 1 additional gateway in 1 forge, able to get the earlier upgrades and the cannon so that he could transition into the Phoenix build. Whereas this time, he's in fact going to be going for the 3 gates. Does drop the Stargate, but going to be able to put out some earlier pressure as he does make 3 warp gates. Sushi, you there?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what he was going to do because he's making some units near the third base of the Zerg player and he's making a Stargate, like he's faking that he's going to pressure. But he's actually pressing a little bit and it's going to be pretty effective as well.
Yeah, he certainly is. Spikecaller taking a lot of damage. The Stalker does go down in the back as, well, the Zealots are going to be able to escape. 2 of them in the very, very deep red. Total of 7 Zealots now making their way to the front lines with some good focus fire. This game Suck might be able to take 2 of those down. More Queens going to be joining up once again. The Zealots doing a lot of damage, though, to the Queens, and they're going to be able to take down the Spinecrawler here momentarily.
He can transfuse.
No,
he missed the
transfuse. To the transfuse, and 3 Zealots do back on out, and they're going to be killed by the Queens here. But like you said, is this real pressure or is this fake pressure so that he can actually go for the transition to the Stargate? Which, let's take a look here, appears to have been actually spotted out. No!
Yeah.
Was not
he
spotted
did it.
out.
Yeah, now he does. But I think if we take a look at how things are standing right now, yeah, it's pretty even. But I think that the Protoss wished he did a little bit more damage than he did, since he's only still on 2 gas. You know, he cannot make as much Phoenix or Sentries or even upgrades as he would like to. And the Zerg player is now already on lair, and he can make a 3rd base relatively safely because he made so many Zerglings who are, by the way, attacking the natural of the Protoss. But he is, yeah, sentries. He can make force fields, yeah. So the Zerg cannot really do anything, but at the same time the Protoss cannot really do anything. So the Zerg is taking the correct option, which is just taking a 3rd base. But he should really work on his drone count, which is only on 34. Protoss has more workers, and that's never what you want in a position like this.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. A lot of that, because he made so many Zerglings, and once again, just like the Zerglings that we saw made in the very first game of the day, when you attack with 20-some-odd Zerglings and you're not able to do any damage with them, just throwing them away, you're gonna fall behind in your drone count. And now, Phoenix is actually gonna come in, snipe off an Overlord, and with that drone count still being so low, down at 41. The Spore Crawlers, the additional Queens that he had to make, and those Zerglings really contributing to that low drone count. Needs to get that up or he's going to fall behind economically.
Yeah, and also we've seen the production tab, he was making upgrades in Infestation Pit, a couple of extra Overlords, but he's not reproducing drones, and that's going to be a really big issue in the upcoming minutes.
Yeah, it certainly is. The 3rd does finish up here, and a Spore Crawler on the way trying to defend that 3rd. But all these Zerglings and Roaches, I mean, Zerg is the reactionary race. You want to have map vision like he does. The Zergling actually on the Zalaga Watchtower providing him good vision, but he's making Zerglings and Roaches. Why does he need these Zerglings and Roaches?
Yeah, they're not paying for themselves at all. Instead, you know, these units could have been drones, then his economic position would be okay, at least better than it is right now. He still wouldn't have saturated the 3rd base if he would have, but it at least would have been better. Now he's making 11 extra drones, but of course that's a good thing, but they're a little bit too late. And now the benefit of those 11 drones are going to come so late that I think that the Protoss can hit a really nice 2-base timing here. Although I suspect he's going to take a 3rd base like he's usually doing. But the game is not really going as the Zerg had intended, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not going super well for him indeed. And a reminder, this is game 3 in this best of 3 series. One of these 2 players is going to be eliminated right now. The other one going to be advancing into the semifinals. So this game suck. He needs to make something happen here, and he's going to use those Zerglings and Roaches. The Roaches with speed now finished up, and they're going to be making their way across the map to try to get some damage done. This is a possibility. You can actually get damage done here because so much has been invested in the air tech, but there's also a lot of units on the ground here for JayPower.
Yeah. If the Zerg wanted to commit to this, he should have made way more Roaches and Zerglings, and then he would have had 100% chance of denying the third base. But now instead, oh, really nice fungal on the Phoenix and the Void Ray, by the way. He caught all of them, but he only has 2 infestors, and he's not going to be able to chain fungal all of them. And now they only lost their shields, and they can just fly away. So this is a big waste for the Zerg, and he also lost the Queen in the process.
Oh, but
and
Zerglings make their way into the base. No
this is
force
really
field
good.
right there. Very good for JayPower. But there's a big warp in. Takes out the pilot. Oh, a nice force field, though. Going to be able to section off a ton of units. Good burrow. No observer out on the map right now, but those units are trapped there.
It would have been so good for the Zerg if he just moved all of the Zerglings like immediately to the main base and start killing probes. Instead, he killed a cannon and a pylon, you know, which is meaningless basically. Like he could have done so much more with this attack because he got lucky that the Protoss wasn't paying attention. And now we see the Phoenix getting fungled. Like JayPower spreading them really well. So Zerg is wasting a little bit of energy here while he didn't really kill any of the Phoenix again. So everything is still going as planned as the Protoss. Well, I believe that our Zerg player here had a lot of opportunities to do a lot more damage than he did.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he's actually lost a total of 3 infestors so far to these Phoenixes. Not ideal. The supply is definitely starting to swing in favor of ThisGameSuck, but we actually have Phoenix range on the way as well for the first time with all these Phoenixes, but that supply is primarily in Zerglings and Roaches. The drone count's still low, 66. It's not super low anymore, and Immortals are out. They're on the way. There's already a decent count of sentries as well. Well, I guess 2 isn't that decent, but there's a couple sentries out, and those Immortals are going to be able to stop any kind of Zergling Roach-based push as long as there's a healthy amount of gateway units around them, which there are a ton of.
Yeah, you know what would be really nice for the Zerg right now? Banelings. He got so many Zealots. If he would just mix like 10 Banelings in his army, he could crush the Protoss. But of course, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a Baneling nest. But I'm sure that if he would have, he could just crush it right now. But
oh my god, I love what JayPower is doing right now. Actually sacrificing some Phoenixes here. He just baited out 5 Fungals and 3 infested Terrans. Look at the energy on these infestors. The Zerg player could have actually moved in and done a substantial amount of damage with these Zerglings, Roaches, and infestors. Instead now, going to be moving out. He's still looking to attack. This is a huge mistake. If he tries to attack right here with this low of energy, he has 2 Fungals available.
He's going to throw infested Terrans. But he should throw them in a natural or something, because this battle he's not going to accomplish anything, probably. Or most likely.
There's the infested Terrans going down. Zealots in the front line. They're going to be meeting with the Zerglings. There's the Graviton beams onto the infestors. Roach is trying to do some damage. 1-1 upgrades on them. Going to be microed backward, and they're actually doing a ton of damage here to the Zealots. And the Immortals, 4 in the back, need to fall back. There's the force fields finally coming down. And the Immortals with their superior range starting to cut through the Roaches. But there's actually just too many Roaches right now. Zerg up 60 supply, and the Roach is going to come in and try to get the pin onto these Immortals. And somehow ThisGameSuck getting back into this game. Not enough energy on these Phoenixes. Lifting up the Immortals, trying to save them for now as more units are starting to be warped in. The Zealots, though, against Speed Roaches, just not going to be able to do anything. The Immortals falling back to the ground and immediately being lifted back up. They are not going to be able to be saved, though. And this third base definitely going to fall here.
Yeah, look at the reinforcements.
Oh my god, he's going to win this game.
Yeah, and he's making 5 Corruptors, so he's going to seal the deal right here.
Oh my god. The Void Ray trying to do some damage, just not able to kill anything fast enough. In fact, it will die to the infested Terrans. Zerglings and Roaches making their way back in, and there it is. GG!